Hey, this is Rachel Cunningham, and you're listening to Joyful Love, episode 68. If you're ready to bring joy and connection back to your marriage, stick around. Each week, I give you the tools to up-level your thinking, open your heart, and bring joy and fun back to your relationship. Because it's not enough just to stay married. We want to love being married. I am a little under the weather this week. You can probably hear it in my voice right now. I actually almost invited my husband to do this intro, but I just really wanted to do it by myself. But I'm not feeling well, so I'm spending lots of time this weekend resting and taking baths and doing hot soaks on my head and drinking lots of hot tea. And my guilty pleasure this week is just binge watching Love is Blind on Netflix. That show is really hard for me to watch without wanting to coach them all. I'm constantly thinking, oh my God, they're being vulnerable. Let them be vulnerable. Drop defensiveness. Get curious. Listen. You guys, I really need to feel better soon so that I can get back to coaching my real clients and not my pretend clients on reality shows. I love you guys. I even love on reality shows. It's strange. And I'm really grateful that Chris will indulge in some of these shows occasionally with me. But what a beautiful gift it is to love someone. What a beautiful gift it is to be loved. We're all seeking that, right? Some so much so that they'll actually put themselves out on a reality show, which confuses me every time I watch it. But with that said, I have a gift for you to help you to dig in deep and to love even more and to receive love from your partner a whole lot easier this month. For the next 4 episodes of Joyful Love, I'll be sharing the 4-day connected communication challenge that I offered last week. If you missed it, this is a great opportunity to catch up on it. If you watched it and want to revisit it and hear it just as you go to remember the things that were said, this is a great opportunity for that too. It'll be packed full of helpful tips to communicate with your partner in a way that helps you to actually see them, to hear them, to understand them, and to help you lead the way to being vulnerable and to solving your relationship problems quicker and with more ease. When you implement these skills, your connection will build and your relationship will improve. And in addition to listening to these episodes just for yourself and for your relationship, I invite you to share these episodes with that best friend or that sister-in-law who's always complaining about how her partner never listens, who you wish you could help, but you're not sure how. Share these episodes with her. She will thank you. And when you're ready to take this work to the next level and implement these skills with intention and self-compassion, when you're ready for deep personal growth and healing, I welcome you to book a free consultation call with me at www.rachelcunningham.com/work-with-me. That's Rachel with an AEL, Cunningham.com/work-with-me. It's a free hour to talk about your relationship and to ask me any questions you want to. You have nothing to lose, and you have so much to gain. And with that said, enjoy day 1 of the Connected Communication Challenge. Everyone is popping on now, so I'm super excited to see you. I know that you guys are here from all over the world. I know some of you, it's really late. Others of you, it's early in the morning. So I just want to acknowledge that you are here from all over and give you a massively huge welcome. So just to let you know, you're in the right place. You are at the 5-day Connected Communication Challenge. Whatever you have going on right now, whatever your day's been, you are in the right place. You did not get here by accident. You are here for a reason. I want you to trust that. So you can even set an intention for this hour. And if you don't know what intention to come up with right now, just say, you know what, I am going to get what I came for. So the skills I'm teaching today are to be used in loving relationships where there is not physical and emotional abuse. So if you are in an abusive relationship, please, I encourage you to seek help from a professional in your area who is trained to help you heal and safely leave an abusive situation. Okay. So the skills and tools that I teach you are not to be used against yourself. They are to be used for you. And if at any point you feel like, you know what, this isn't resonating with my situation, I want to encourage you to trust your inner wisdom. Okay. All right. So with that, I want to get started. Why are you here? Your communication is lacking and you can feel it. It's the number one struggle that people tell me that they're dealing with in their relationships. It's probably affecting everything from your parenting to your teamwork and your emotional and even physical connection. And you probably switch back and forth from avoiding conflict, right? You're just like, okay, I just don't even want to be in the same room as you, to lashing out in anger and frustration to each other. So the same issues probably keep repeating themselves over and over. And you're like, haven't we been doing this for years and years now, right? Is this issue ever going to feel better? Is it ever going to get solved? And you might be losing hope that you'll ever figure this out. You both probably respond to each other with some passive aggressive behavior because you just don't know what else to do, right? So you also might give each other the cold shoulder. You also might switch gears and try to people please and really walk on eggshells and try to just keep the peace by just kind of saying, whatever, I'll just go the extra mile and people pleasing your partner over and over and over until you are just wiped out, right? So all of this leads to the truth that you and your partner are not connected how you used to be. In the beginning, things were probably much different. You had a different life, right? Most of us get married and we are very different people and very different, or the same people, but we have very different lives in the beginning. And when our lives start to shift with different careers and different living situations and children in the mix, we don't know what to do in those situations. So we start to grow apart in ways that we never thought was possible. So I want you to know that heart-to-heart connection and good communication go hand in hand. Without them, you'll continue to feel frustrated. You'll continue to build that resentment in you, and you'll even feel lonely in your relationship. In a partnership that you thought you were getting in because you were going to have this beautiful connected bond for the rest of your life, you're starting to feel really lonely in that situation. So today, and for the rest of this week, we're going to make some serious change in this situation for you. So if you're feeling all this stuff, if all of this is like, you're like, yep, that resonates, you are in the right place. But first of all, I have not introduced myself. So for those of you who don't know me, who am I? Who is this woman trying to teach me this stuff? Let me tell you, I am Rachel Cunningham, and I'm a life and relationship coach. I certified through the Life Coach School, and I have been married for 25 years. I'm 45 years old. So yes, I got married very young at the age of 19. And I think my mom got married at 19 too. I think my grandma got married when she was in her teens, right? Like it's just like a tradition in our family. We get married young. And a lot of our parents did, right? A lot of our parents got married really young. I just followed suit. I didn't get the memo that it was okay to wait until your 30s to get married. So I got married at the age of 19. We have 3 amazingly beautiful kids, and our youngest is 17 and still lives at home and our oldest 2 just recently moved out on their own. So I'm really looking forward to Christmas when they all get to come home and be with me again. So that said, since my babies are old,
My husband and I are really nearing that possibility of being empty nesters in the next few years. And I am so glad, I am so grateful that we did the work over the past 15 years to improve our relationship and help it to get better and better and better each year. And we didn't give up when it was hard. Because to be honest, 15 years ago, I wasn't sure if we'd be okay today. Our relationship was suffering. We were drifting apart and really not connecting intimately, emotionally, or physically. But there was enough love there. I knew that we had enough love there to rise up and take charge. And I said, yo, husband, what we have is too good to just slowly drift apart for the next decade while we wait for our kids to leave and then end up two people who don't really know each other living in the same house with no kids to keep us together, right? So that's not what I wanted. So I said, let's fix this. And we did just that. We intentionally grew and connected again. And it has been so worth it to do the work to heal and grow in our relationship. And please know that if your marriage has drifted apart, or if you feel it drifting, no matter how long you've been married, whether a year or 50 years, it is worth it to begin now. It is never too late to heal from your past stories together and to dig deep and to understand each other so that when your kids are gone, whether they are now or not, or if you even have kids, right? But when you get to those older ages, I want you to know deep in your bones that you are going to have a blast in the next part of your marriage. Or if you've got some hard stuff ahead of you, like most of us do, I want you to know that you can climb those mountains together. Honestly, that's where we're at now. Chris and I, my husband's name is Chris, and we are mixing it up every day with fun and whatever challenges life has for us. And it seems like right now it's quite a lot, right? Life keeps throwing a lot of challenges at us, but we're meeting those challenges with radical acceptance and trust that we can get through them stronger together. The challenges of life are so much easier when you've got that foundation of love and connection and a lot of fun thrown in to support you. So I do talk about fun because I think it's one of the foundational things that helps a marriage to really get through the hard times. So before we dive into today's lesson, I want those of you who are new here to know what my top 3 philosophies of marriage actually are. Okay, so my top 3 marriage philosophies. Number 1, we are here on this earth to love, heal, grow, and have fun. I believe this is the purpose of marriage too. And when you ask yourself, how can I love today? How can I heal and grow today in my life and my relationship? And how can we get better at welcoming fun into our lives? If you can intentionally look at your marriage and your life with this purpose and ask those powerful questions, your relationship will improve. Number 2, I believe that one person making the shifts that I teach can really be the catalyst of massive growth in a relationship. You don't always need both people doing this work. When one person owns the spiritual leadership in their marriage, there's a ripple effect that is very real, and it happens. Just like in science, one element affects the others. You can't change one element in a science experiment without it affecting all the other elements, right? So in relationships, it's the same. One person influences and affects the other person too. Number 3, this one is important. Healing a relationship does not always mean that you stay in the relationship. Sometimes growth means that you make a powerful decision out of total compassionate love for everyone involved to complete the relationship. Either way, my goal for you is to help you to have deep, meaningful connection to yourself and to your partner so that you can heal your relationship and listen to your own inner wisdom to guide you. That's what we're going to begin this week. That is the work we will do this week. So this week, you're going to learn 7 skills to bring deep connection to your relationship. Today, we're just going to cover one of them. And then a couple of the days, we'll cover a couple of them at the same time, right? So we're going to get through all 7 this week. So let's cover the number 1 skill that you need for connected communication. Number 1, let love lead the way. For any conversation to go well, we must let love lead. This is the most basic fundamental of having connected communication and therefore a connected relationship. But you guys, to let love lead, you have to actually see your partner as worthy of love. You have to see their inner beauty, their inner goodness, right? Who is your partner at their highest, wisest, most healed self? Who might they be in a world? This is a great question to ask to help you to really dig in and see the soul of your partner. Who might they be in a world where all the negative messages of life were not there for them to still be healing from? Who are they underneath? The outer shell that has developed from the way they were parented, to any traumas that they may have experienced along the way, to even the way society and culture have fed them messages of how they're supposed to be. Who might they be without all of that? Who are they right now as a whole healed person? I want to offer that whole healed person is in them. And it's a precious gift to be able to see that lovable, worthy, and magnificent person that they are. And you might be saying, Rachel, wait, you don't know my partner. They are critical, they're frustrated, they're irritated all the damn time. And I don't know if it's even possible to view them as worthy of love right now. I want you to know that I hear you. I hear that. And I want to offer this. There is always someone in this world who sees your partner as worthy of love. Most likely it's their mama. Most mothers, even through all of their own imperfections, have the ability, the magnificent ability, to see into the soul of their children. They may not know how to show it all the time, right? They may not know the best ways to show what they see because they're so afraid of all the things that could go wrong. And many mothers have their own past that they're still healing from. But so many moms are incredibly capable of seeing what their children are capable of. They see that their child never, not once, lost their ability to be loved. They never lost their worthiness, not during their terrible twos, not during the struggling teenage years, and not even during the immature 20s and possibly immature 30s and 40s. They never lost their worthiness to be loved. And a mother knows that when she looks at her child, right? And if a mother is not capable of loving a child, we all know that that is the mother's issue, not the worthiness of the child. That child is still worthy of immense love, regardless of the mother's capability to love, right? The child is always worthy of love. And I want to offer that we adults, no matter what, never grow out of that worthiness to be loved. Just because we're older and have made more mistakes doesn't mean that we outgrow the lovability factor. That is the truth. And that is true for every single person on this planet, simply because we were born, and we were born to love and be loved. It's our foundation as humans. Now, if you are not capable of loving your partner, that's one thing, but it doesn't erase their innate worthiness of love. Okay? Are you tracking? I hope so. So for some of you, when your partner shows up grumpy for the 735th day in a row, or when he throws his bathroom towel on the floor for the 2,500th day in a row, you might have so many criticisms and frustrations that it's really hard to tap into your own capacity to love. And I want you to offer compassion for yourself as well there. And for that reason, this is why I recommend starting with loving yourself more. So when you have a hard time loving your partner, the first thing to do is ask yourself, how well am I loving me? Okay. So the truth is, you are also 100% worthy of immense love right now, exactly as you are. That's right. If you have a criticism of your partner, it's probably safe to say that you have a lot of criticisms of yourself too. They might be the same thing, right? I remember criticizing my partner for leaving the towels on the floor, and I was like, I don't leave my towels on the floor, but I sure do throw my clothes on the floor a lot instead of hanging them up, right? Like we often have very similar criticisms of ourselves and our partners. So we often shift the blame, right? So, I mean, the first step is to really look at yourself and say, where can I love me more? Where can I understand that I am worthy of love, even though I have all of these issues as well, right? The more you can see yourself as worthy of love, the more you can really practice seeing the truth of who you really are to your core, which is a magnificently beautiful, loving, and creative soul. That is the truth. No matter what your past is, no matter what you've done, no matter the traumas that you have been through, you are still a magnificently beautiful, loving, and creative soul. The easier and the more you can see that, the easier it will be to see that truth in your partner too. So to let love lead your communication, you have to drop criticism and look to the heart. And no, I want to be clear here. Letting love lead does not mean to ignore the problems. It simply means that when you see that there are imperfections in yourself and in your partner, you can still make the powerful choice to see deeper than the surface issues. See to the heart, see to the soul, look for the good, right? See the truth that there is still a little child inside of yourself and inside of your partner that simply wants to be accepted and loved, right? A child that may have never healed from childhood trauma. A child that may still feel ignored if they were pushed aside when they were little. A child that is afraid of failure. A child that might be afraid of abandonment. A child that is still in the process of figuring out their own healing journey. That goes for you and it goes for your partner. You are both 100% worthy of love. That's the foundation of connected communication. Being able to see that even while you work through difficult conversations, right? And even while you work through different issues in your marriage that you want to improve and that you want to make better, the secret to doing that and really connecting in your conversations is to see past the issues to the beauty and the lovability of yourself and your partner, right? There is a beautiful soul and a healing child in all of us. And if we can see that and respect that, our communication is going to flow so much easier. So, seeing to the soul of your partner and yourself is how you let love lead. And you can apply this to every interaction that you have with your partner, whether it's a simple request of, hey, babe, can you help with the dishes tonight? Or if it's a bigger conversation on, maybe your different parenting styles or a lack of intimacy in your relationship. Letting love lead the way is the first step to improving all of these interactions, whether they're little bitty ones that could possibly lead to arguing or big ones that are filled with so much tension right now. So how can you view yourself as worthy of love, even if your partner isn't good at showing you love? Remember that, so many times we have, the thoughts of self-criticism and shame and unworthiness if our partners aren't good at showing you love right now. I want you to remember that just like that little child is still worthy of love, even if the mother, for some reason, isn't capable of showing love, you are still worthy of love, even if your partner is not capable. Them not loving you says more about them than it does about you right now. So how can you show yourself that love? How can you show yourself that love even if your partner isn't right now? How can you respect yourself? And then how can you flip the script and offer your partner that same gift of unconditional love and of seeing deeper into their magnificent soul? Believing is the start of being able to show it. So when you really start to look for evidence, how do you believe? You look for evidence. And I promise you it's there for everyone. The evidence that they are lovable exactly as they are, that they are worthy of love, is there. You might just have to look for the evidence instead of looking for what's wrong for a while, right? Look for the evidence that you and your partner are worthy of immense goodness and love, and that you are both worthy of kindness and respect and unconditional love. You're going to start to show that when you start to believe it, when you start to look for evidence for it, you'll start to show it in your actions and your communication. So let love lead. That's shift one. It's a powerful one. It might even be the hardest one. And that's why I started with it, because your brain is going to want to fight this, right? So this is the only one I want you to work on today. And in order to help you work on that today, I want to give you some power questions to really answer tonight. Sit down with these questions and answer them tonight on this one little shift. So this is question one. What's hard to believe that you are 100% lovable exactly as you are? What's hard about that? Why is it hard? What is that one little thing in yourself that's like, wait a second, but I don't deserve love here because ... right? Answer that. Where is it hardest to believe that for yourself right now? And then question two, what would you need to think about yourself to believe that you are 100% lovable? What would you need to think about yourself? Right? It might be helpful to kind of imagine yourself as an 8-year-old child. What do you think about her? What would you tell her if she was questioning her own lovability right now? Ask yourself that. What would you need to think about yourself to believe that you are 100% lovable? And then number three, how would you treat yourself different? How might you respect yourself more? How might you care for yourself better? How might you stand up for yourself better if you really saw your own worth? Okay, that's a powerful question. Get detailed. I encourage you to get detailed. Like, name at least 10 things. If you really saw your worth and believed that you are worthy of goodness and worthy of love, what would you do differently for yourself? How might you respect yourself more? And then the next three are the same questions, just flipped for your partner. What's hard to believe that your partner is 100% lovable? What would you need to think about your partner to believe that they are 100% lovable? Do this same exercise for them. If you're having a hard time with it, think about them as an 8-year-old child. going through whatever they went through as a child, right? What would you tell 8-year-old, your 8-year-old partner if they were having a hard time believing that they were 100% lovable? What would you tell them? Can you think that about them right now, at whatever age they're at right now? Remember, we do not lose our lovability just because we make a whole lot of mistakes, right? That lovability is innate. It never goes away. Number 6, how would you treat your partner different if you saw them as 100% worthy? Right? How would you treat them differently? How would you talk to them differently? How would you show up for them differently? What kind of things would you do differently right now if you saw them as totally worthy of goodness and kindness and love? I also want to welcome you. Sometimes partners are really not into the self-help. They're not into getting help from outsiders, and that's okay. Don't push this stuff on someone who's not ready. But if they are ready, if they are curious, like, what did you watch today? What did they say? I encourage you to watch this with them and really start to open up dialogue about where you can kind of take charge together in some of these things. But again, some partners are just not into it, and don't push that if they're not. If they're willing participants, let them participate and watch the replay. If not, really own this stuff for yourself. Because remember, my philosophy number 2 is that one person going about these shifts can make huge change in a relationship. And I believe that 100%. Not just because it's something I made up, but because all the studies show it. And also I see it every single day in my clients. So tomorrow we will cover shift 2 for connected communication. And I'm going to show you why the brain has such a hard time with some of these changes. And I'm going to show you what to do about it.
Okay, I want to know what you got out of that. So I invite you to send me an email at hello@rachelcunningham.com after you listen, and let me know what your biggest takeaways are. What's hard about this skill? What are you excited to try next? Email me your questions, and I'll take the time to answer you back. Have a great week, everyone, and happy holidays to you and your loved ones.
Thanks for listening to Joyful Love. If you'd like to know more about my work, come visit me at rachelcunningham.com. That's Rachel, spelled with an AEL, Cunningham.com.